We'll do it live.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Perry,
Yes, sir. What we got?
we're still talking drums.
Yes. The heartbeat.
Part 2, John
Part two.
Spinelli, Spinelli Drums.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. So the last video we talked about was
Patents.
patents,
Working
right?
on patents.
In
Yeah.
the beginning of Spinelli Drums.
Right.
So we have a couple more patents we need to discuss, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So we talked about the first one, which was what?
The lug,
Yes.
the ND
Okay.
lug, single tension tuning.
Okay.
We spoke about that, and then we talked about the guide and slide tom mount.
Yeah.
Up and down, super easy, no wing nuts. We tried it. It's
Nope.
pretty
nope,
simple.
Yeah. No nuts.
Yeah.
yeah. Got to the no nuts.
And then our next patent is our quick pitch. yeah, we haven't talked about that. Our quick pitch bass drum spur.
Okay.
Again, no wing nuts.
Okay.
Works off a compression spring. You push it in, pull it out, locks in, rock solid. Super, super easy. You don't have to keep going. Oh, didn't open it enough. Keep going. You know.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just super, super easy.
And that's more for setup, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
again, John is a drummer. So he's making what he does easier, right? What'd you say?
Yeah.
Simplified?
More efficient.
Simplified.
Yeah.
Yep.
Much
And
more
it-
efficient.
Innovation simplified.
Yeah.
Yep. Super.
Well, I mean, any drummer would know, and even any member of the band would know, the biggest lift is getting that drum kit in there, getting it set up,
Mhm.
and getting it out of there. There's
Yeah.
no other piece of equipment on the stage that takes as much time or as much effort. So,
Yeah. It's we've definitely simplified that. And on top of all of that, we make our hardware out of aluminum. So it is very lightweight.
okay,
Very lightweight.
okay.
Now, does aluminum change
Pitch, tone.
does it change anything with the drum? Does it change anything other than the weight of it?
Realistically or theoretically, I guess theoretically, everything would have to do with the tone. Our stuff is kind of isolated from that because they are free floating shells. So it is isolated from that, so it has very little to do with overall tone. It's just the weight. It's convenience. Easy. I can grab it by one lug and carry it and carry something else in the other hand on my bass drum, you know. It's just that easy.
That makes all the difference in the world, having lugged drums back and forth, for lack of a better term.
They're
Yeah,
really lightweight, yeah.
Wow.
They're super lightweight.
you know, and I'm not a puny
My
little
drums are
guy.
at the house. They have never been broken down in 20 years. I
And
ain't
you
moving them.
You're not intended to do any
I
of
ain't
it, right?
moving them. I ain't moving them. They sound great right where they
Right
are.
where they are, right?
like the rest of us, the older they get, the longer they've been sitting there, they're heavier now than the first
Oh, of
time
course.
we moved them.
And you know, I had a friend of mine who plays drums. He came over one time, sat down, hit him a couple times, looked at me and goes, "You should be embarrassed that these things are out of tune like this." And I said, "I haven't sat down at that kit in about 6 years. What are you talking about?"
Exactly right. Not moving them
Hey,
to
man.
save nobody's
They
life.
look great right where they
Right
are.
where they are, yeah. Well, you know it's bad when you start hanging your clothes on.
Got to dust them every once in a while.
Yeah,
So let's talk about the other patent.
yeah, the snare throw off.
Right.
Okay.
It's real easy design. Just works off of leverage actually. There's no springs or anything or clips that hold it into place. As the throw off goes past the bar underneath that holds the snare, it keeps the tension on it, and just super simple. It's really
Wow.
simple.
How did these things come to you, man? Did you fall and bump your head one day and be like, "Wow,
Oh,
I
my
should
gosh.
invent a clip that holds the kit together"?
You would not believe the evolution of parts that
Trial and error.
that lead us to the path where we are today. Oh my goodness, so many parts.
So it
Couple of
was in the
sleepless
beginning. It
nights in
was
there.
well. In the beginning, it was let's try this. Let's try this.
Oh,
Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. It was-
yeah, and And my thing was like, no, it's got to be smaller. It's got to be smaller. It's got to be smaller. You know, we got to get it smaller. Oh no, you know, and it's just amazing how we ended up where we did.
Well,
It's
you know, I
just-
mean, success is made up of a lot of failures along the way.
yeah, yeah,
And you got to have the tenacity. But again, the difference being you are a drummer. In your mind and in your soul, you know there's a sound, there is a thing that I know we can do better. And you're not going to let go of that. You're like that dog with a bone. You're not going to let go of
Yeah.
it until you achieve that thing that you know in your heart and your soul I can do.
Well, there's like that poster, you know, with the iceberg. You know,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
below
Yeah,
the surface,
yeah.
you don't see what
Exactly.
we went
Yeah.
through to get
To
here.
that peak. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and that's definitely the road we travel. And not only does it have to function, and it cannot be different just to be different.
Right.
There's no way that I was not be different. Well, what if you just make that red, say? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then everybody would know it's you. It's like, no.
Right.
You know,
Right.
just things to be different, just to be different.
Just to
you
say
know,
right.
no.
Because it doesn't function. There's no function to it.
And it had to look good. And of course, it had to be something that I myself would use.
Right.
So it wasn't easy. I mean, we had a lot of parts that did not pass the bill. You know, it's just like, no, the idea's there, but let's keep going.
A lot
you
of
know?
parts that didn't pass the mother test.
Yeah, it
If
did
she
not.
doesn't love you,
Yeah,
you ain't
that's
in, right?
right. And I'm mama. I'm big mama when it comes to that. It's like, no,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, let me. That's going to take me to this. Tell me who the Spinelli drummer is. Who is that guy? Who's that girl? Who's that person that is seeking what they're looking for and can find it in the Spinelli brand?
All drummers. But
You know, a guy that cuts hair can't say all my clients are people with hair.
yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, it boils down to tone, to the sound. You know, the sound that you're looking for. Our added benefit is the feel, because it really does have a different feel. It's definitely made for a professional drummer. For somebody, you don't have to be professional, but you know, you have to be an advanced drummer, or somebody that understands the sound and tone and how to create it and where it comes from, which is the player. You know, you got to be able to produce it. It's like you could put a beginner on a Stradivarius, and it's not
Right.
gonna be.
It's not a
what
Stradivarius in his hands. Yeah.
That's right.
You
You
can
know,
butcher Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on a $10
you can.
violin or a $10,000 violin.
Yeah, yeah. But I've always said when I was working in the retail, you know, when you have a beginner drum set, you know, the levels here, you have a middle of the road drum set, and that $1,200 to $1,500 price range that any professional could play, and then you have like an amazing piece of art that the drum kit is 20% better, but costs twice as much,
Mhm.
you know, or
Mhm.
more.
20% better, but 100% in price.
Yeah, you know, it. But that's what it takes to get there. And you know, if your Marshall amp did go to 11, what would you do with it? You know,
Okay.
what
All
would
right.
you do with it?
Spinal Tap.
Yeah, you know, and that's
I go to 11
yeah.
because it's
So
louder.
it's like, you know, with the really professional series drum kit, you know, you can do that. And when an artist can take this fancy little paintbrush and feather it like you cannot do with a, you know, drugstore paintbrush, you can make a beautiful picture out of
Right,
that, you
right.
know? But it's got to be in the right hands. But not only does our drum kit not have to be in the right hands, somebody who can just play them to get an amazing sound.
Did you ever go into Mars Music when it was on Hillsborough?
Of course.
Everybody
So-
went in there.
So my buddy Steve ran the department, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wackles,
Yeah.
Dr. Kill Drums.
He owns one of my snares.
Does he?
He purchased it. Yeah.
And Namil was the guy that ran the percussion department up
Mhm.
there, right? And Namil he was such a nice guy. He ended up leaving and going to Disney to do the Tarzan
Oh.
experience out there. But one of the funniest things, I was so glad I was there that day. But if you remember, the drum department had all the drums in a pyramid.
Oh yeah,
Going up.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
the
Yeah.
top one was a turquoise and gold drum set, right? Yamaha kit. And it was like, oh, that was the big one up top. And this guy walked in, didn't say nothing. He had it like on a tank top and a pair of shorts and a pair of flip flops. And he goes, "My friend, I want that one." And he goes, and Steve was like, "No, for real." He goes, "Yes, I want that one." And it was like $7,000. And he goes, "Okay, well, we're going to run the card before we get that one
Down from there.
because we
Yeah.
have to take all of these down to get to it." So he runs the card, it goes through, and you just watch. They were all like, "Oh my God." And he looked over at Namil and he goes, "Go get that kit." Oh, I never seen people so mad that they
Well,
had to
yeah,
go sell a
yeah.
$7,000 drum
Yeah,
set.
absolutely, because they had to climb that mountain, man.
I
Yeah.
was up top. Yeah, I was so glad I was there that day. It
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
funny watching them. They were happy and mad at the same time.
Yeah. There you
Yamaha
go.
makes amazing drums, and they put physics into it. You know.
Science.
Yeah, drum
they
science.
do.
That's
do.
amazing.
Yeah.
It really
Very
is.
cool. The Spinelli drum brand. We know all the hard work you've gotten to get it here, right? What's the future? What do you see coming up? What nuggets can you give us that people might not know that you're working on?
Well, right now.
That you can give us.
Yeah. Right now, what our focus is to hopefully scale up. That's
Okay.
what we're hoping to do, so that we can move to the next level.
More visibility.
Yeah, but we need more products, more this, more that to get there, to do actually good advertising, instead of just little stuff.
Hey,
But-
well, we are not little stuff.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about my Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's little stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's little stuff.
Do you have a trajectory of, in other words, it's 2025. Are we looking at 2028, 2030?
Well, I'm waiting for the ball to roll in motion here for that to happen and that to happen. So,
One of the
maybe next year or so.
Okay.
One of the things that we did see, a group of good friends of ours that John actually introduced me to, they started a drum brand, and I thought it was amazing. I love that kid, and they got too big too quick,
Mm-hmm.
and the rug came out from under them
Mhm.
because of contracts and product and availability, and they scaled up, but then it fell apart. That scale up,
Yeah.
which crippled everything, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be smart. You got to be
Yeah.
cautious.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
cautious is the
Right.
right word.
Right.
You got to be cautious about how you do it, because a bad move could wipe you out, like they did.
Yeah.
And I'm not mentioning any names,
Yeah.
but it was sad, because it was when with all the kits that I've sat down and played, I love those kits.
Yeah.
I really did. So,
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, So we'll see. I'll still be doing this no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah. Yeah.
It just depends on the scaling.
Well, you didn't build a business here. This looks more like a home. I mean, you
Yeah.
you live here basically, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm here 7 days a week. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah,
Incredible.
yeah. Got people
So
coming by tomorrow. When you were walking in, I was on a guy coming by tomorrow. It's like, wait till
We
I'm
need
here
a
in the
drum shop.
afternoon.
Right.
We need a drum shop.
That's what you need.
Hey.
Everybody does.
Hey.
I don't care if I ever sell one drum. At least if it's a place for me to go and hang
Yeah,
out.
hang out, right?
Get
Yeah.
away from my kid and my wife.
Yeah.
I need a drum
You're going to be
shop.
around a noise.
AJ
You want that noise, right? Yeah.
AJ's drums. Wait, there already was an AJ's
There
drums.
was.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
AJ. Yeah,
Um,
AJ's a great friend.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's funny. Everything that you're doing is custom, right? So there is no production line.
Well,
of
there
drums.
there is actually.
Oh, okay.
That's why I kind of didn't put the word custom in the name
Mhm.
because most people don't know what they want. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want, and so that was the idea, is to leave that out, the word custom, even though most of my stuff I sell is all custom.
Yeah, because
Um,
I've seen like your Instagram videos of like the young girl that got the pink kit,
Yep.
stuff like that. That I
Yeah.
guess maybe it's that's what you feature a lot on
Yeah.
social media is
Mhm.
look, we did this kit for this person, or we did
Yeah.
this kit for
Mhm.
this person.
Yeah.
So I guess I just assume that they're all like, if I want a kit, I come to you, I tell you what I want, and then you build it.
Yeah. At this point, because of COVID, most of the builds are all custom builds. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. COVID slowed us, killed us.
Right.
Because that's when we launched. We really launched December of 2019. 3 months later, the world shut
The
down.
world shut down. Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
so that put us behind 2 years, and
Oh, easy.
all the money was gone. And so it was basically, we did sell through all of our production stuff, which we had because, most people, they just want, oh, I want that in what color, pick, and when you already have it, they'll go, oh, I'll take that one.
Right,
I'll
right.
take that one. So right now we're pretty much doing just basically custom. Do a lot of repairs.
Yeah.
Customize.
Major important. Yeah.
Yeah. Customize people's stuff.
All right,
Cut
so
'em down
so
and-
for the people that want to get in touch with you, how do they?
John at SpinelliDrums.com, www.SpinelliDrums.com, or on Facebook.
So the
Instagram.
website has
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
on it,
yeah,
like-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a lot of pictures of what we do.
And we're located in.
Pinellas Park, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you got tentacles that reach out
Oh,
well
yeah.
beyond here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We have a couple of kits overseas in Europe, drum kits in Europe. And
So you don't have
Spinelli
to be
Drum
local
Artists.
to
No,
be a
right.
Spinelli drummer.
Spinelli Drum Artists. Who do we have?
Luis,
Right.
Alicia, he's
A monster.
amazing.
He's a
He's
monster.
a
Yeah.
monster. Oh my god. Yeah. Dear friend, dear guy. My god, what a player. Third Richardson,
Yeah.
Frank Richardson. He's another monster.
Crazy on it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
These are I'm assuming these are a lot of the people that we've seen
Yeah.
at the open houses.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know. There's always, when you come to the open houses, there's always people sitting in and jamming.
Right.
Here in the space that we're in right now.
Right.
Yeah, we clear it
they
out.
set up, and it's
And
It's a great day of music.
We're talking about world touring artists
yeah.
that
Yeah.
are Spinelli
Yeah.
drummers.
Yeah, those guys are amazing.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I bring my son here when we come, and I'm like, "Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is?
Right,
Do you
right.
know who that is?" And he's on it. He's like, "Oh, okay, can I go play on the drums now?"
Yeah.
Like, that's
But he will appreciate it when he becomes of age, and he'll be going, "Wow, when I was a kid, I was hanging out with these guys." That's
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of major artists have played our drums and are familiar with them. Great support from them. I can't support an artist like that at this point,
right.
but they've all had wonderful things to say, and it's amazing. I've had guys who are on tour playing MLL Arena, and they come by for a couple hours. He's like, I've been lied to my entire life about drums. He's like, man, those other guys, they're not going to believe me when I tell them what they sound like.
Right. That's an endorsement. That is an endorsement.
He's like,
right
they're not
there.
going to believe me. They should have been here. They are not going to believe me when I
I've
tell
been
them.
lied to all my life.
Yeah.
well,
Revelation.
the other thing that's funny, and it's one of the things that I noticed when we came here. So, you know, with John working at Seminole Music for as many years as he did, you hosted a lot of drum clinics.
Yeah.
You know, you hosted a lot of artist gatherings where people could come and Greg Bissonette was there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, anytime you turned around, a major touring artist, Mark Schulman came in from Pink. You know, they were playing that night at the arena or the amphitheater.
Right. Yeah.
And 3 hours before, they were at John's place doing a
Clinic.
right?
Seminar, yeah.
And you remember the guys from Luke Bryant?
Yeah.
When they were late going across the bridge, all the traffic, they couldn't get to
the gig.
the gig. They had to get a police escort, right, to get through the traffic. But, you know, one of the funny things with that is, just like I had with Bourbon Street and just like you probably had with the Fox, you know, the friends that you make along the way, they come in and then you're like, hey, here, sign this guitar, or sign this drum head, or, you know, here, do this, sign this so we can stick it on the wall, you know. And, you know, you have a bunch of signed memorabilia, you know, in the front there. And it's stuff that you've collected throughout the years.
Yeah.
Is there any piece that you have that is just that's your wow?
Well, the guys who've passed away, like John Blackwell, my dear friend, Dom Famularo, who recently passed away. Those guys, the guys that are gone are the ones that are special, that, you know.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of great ones. Ray Lazier from Korn, always an amazing guy. Stanton Moore.
Casey
Grillo, another one of my dear friends.
You know, here's the thing with Casey that I get.
Couldn't ask for a better guy.
He always makes it look so easy.
Oh,
You know, when you see him play, whether it was with Camelot or Queensryche, when you watch a video of them on tour, YouTube or whatever, he makes it look so effortless. He really does. It's so not fair.
Well, you know, any of those drummers that are worth their weight in anything, they're back there just living it. They're just back there living it.
They are living
and all you can do is sit back and go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like
Even
watching
Ray
a great drummer.
Even Ray from Korn.
Ray.
They make it look so effortless.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But
And
Casey, let's go back to Casey for 1 minute. When Casey's not playing metal, it is like when he's not playing metal, what he's known for, you know, it is like I've seen him play jazz with brushes and just where does that come from?
so it's
How does
funny.
he even know that?
It's funny you say that because I did not meet Casey with Queensryche. I did not meet Casey with Camelot. I met him with Jeremy Thomas. You know, playing a bar on a Friday night, and you're on tour,
Right.
with
Right.
thousands of people in front of you,
And now,
and then you come here and you're playing, you know, Madonna on a Friday night, or whatever cover band you sat in with or whatever.
Ray Lazier did that for years when he was in LA.
Really,
Yeah, he would
just go and jam.
he would just go. He would take any gig that came his way. You never know where it leads you.
Tampa Bay is critical with that, though, because we've got such a wealth of talent in this area that you could just walk into a place and you've got world-class musicians just hanging out at the local joint doing their thing.
Okay, so let's talk about that because you opened that door. Wealth of talent in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah.
So when I started Mayhem magazine, it was we started focusing on local musicians, right? And then as I started, because now I'm a music magazine, so as I started reaching out to the proper channels, the management, the tour managers, the promotions
The
department,
people you got to deal
right?
with.
The people you got to talk to.
Yeah.
The answer was no everywhere.
Yeah.
Can I talk to Pink? No. Can I talk to anybody? Luke Bryant? No. Can I talk to Brett Michaels? No. Have a good day. Thanks for calling. And I went to John and I said, I don't know, like, why? Why can't I get anybody? What is the problem? And he goes, you're just going about it the wrong way.
Right.
Sometimes you have to know somebody that knows somebody.
Right.
I was like, all right. And he goes, Anthony, there's so many musicians that live in the Tampa area that nobody even knows about because they're quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, like who? He just started rattling them off. I'm like, he lives here? He lives here. He lives here. He's in Sarasota. He's where? And then it was, I think what you had said to me was feature some of the people that don't get featured.
Yes.
The sound guy, the lighting guy,
Yes.
the guitar tech. Feature some of these
that put
people.
it
They
all
have
together,
stories to tell.
Mhm.
And trust me, when you do an article on the guy that tunes the guitar for Bret Michaels' band, trust me, he's going to go back to Bret Michaels and say, hey, check out this article they did on me in this magazine. And we did. And next thing you know, it was, hey, can we get access to so-and-so? And they were like, sure. Can you come by at 4 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like this strange, now the doors got opened up. And it was who you know and how you get there.
Absolutely.
But I
Absolutely.
have to say that, the one thing about the cover of the magazine every month was we wanted to make sure it was always a local person. And I would put somebody on the cover and I would have a bunch of musicians hit me up and go, that guy's not local. Why would you put that guy on there? And I go, wrong. He lives on Treasure Island.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
Yes.
He lives in Carrollwood. Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in such and such. And again, you didn't know. John Blackwell, touring with Prince, right? At any day of the week, you could go to Madeira Beach or Reddington Beach, and he was fishing on a pier.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who he was. He was just out there fishing. And, stuff like that blows your mind. These people are quiet.
This is the community that we've got here.
But every once in a while, they step out into an open jam somewhere and play.
Yeah.
And they don't do that because they're making money. They do that
that's
because they love
that's not what they
to
do.
play.
It's who
They
they
love to
are.
do it.
That's exactly right. I mean, look what I got going on here. Clearwater Jazz Holiday, Uptown Music and Arts Festival, Florida Smooth Jazz Foundation. I'm connected to all of this stuff.
Right.
All the musicians and great artists that I'm around on a regular basis, there are just times where you strike up a conversation. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're doing this thing. Okay, man, put me down, because it's a casual conversation.
Yeah.
You know them because it's about who you know, who you're connected to. And having those relationships makes all the difference in the world. And when you're there, because this is all a part of it.
Yeah, it sure
Spinelli
is.
Drums is a part of it because I'm sure when I leave here today, at some point in time in the future, somebody's going to start talking to me about drums, and I'm going to go, I know a guy.
I know a guy.
I know a guy. Let me hook you up with my man John. And but that's how the community works. No matter how big it may seem at times or how small it really is internally, you know a guy.
Yeah. And I have to say right now we're doing our YouTube channel, which is Mayhem Local Live. And Mayhem Local Live would not exist if it was not for Mayhem Magazine.
Yep.
And hands down, I can say it, Mayhem Magazine would not exist without John Spinelli. It would have never gotten
The traction or
anything that it did if it wasn't for you. So,
thank you.
You were instrumental in not just getting us off the ground, but even more so, you were my spiritual advisor for many years with this. Nothing was worse than when I would go to John and I'd be like, I'm done. I hate this. These people are jerks. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And he'd go, why you let it get to you, man? Why are you letting that guy who's drunk 7 days a week talk trash to you? And I'd go, I hate when you make sense. Right? How many times did I say I hate when you make sense?
Yeah, there was a lot of haters.
Yeah,
So-
the industry can be that way. I mean,
They were people competing with you that really had no right to even be in the
It was
ball field that you were on.
Right.
You know?
it was interesting, man. It
Yeah.
was such a weird animal that I wasn't prepared for. I really had no idea that all the stuff that we did was good. We would give all of the musicians a free ad in the magazine, a full page for you to feature your calendar, your schedule, any merch you wanted, anything you did. We'd give you a free space in the magazine, and you would have people that would just be like, "We hate that. We hate that guy. We hate that magazine."
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Why? What did I? What, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you and your free page."
Yeah.
You're playing raccoons on Friday night.
Right.
Shut up. mean, I hate to call it out like that. It was what it was.
It
I
is
bet
what
they
it
wish
is.
they had that copy today.
Right.
Well, you know, here's
Right.
the thing. I think the best compliment I had after we stopped printing, about 3 years later, somebody said to me, "Is there any chance of you resurrecting that and doing it again?" And I said, "Not if Jesus came down and asked me to do it." Okay. And they said, "Really?" And I go, "No, for real. There's nothing." And they even said, "I have a couple people that will fund it if you want the money." And I said, "Not on your best day would I ever do it. It ain't about the money."
Right.
They said, "You have no idea the void you left in our music scene
Right.
when you
Yes,
stopped
yes.
printing that." And I thought, that was probably the best compliment I ever had.
Sure.
Because nobody else was doing it.
No.
Sure.
You know,
No.
everything went to digital online,
Yeah.
Facebook and,
Yes.
you know, Instagram and stuff like that. But nobody gave what we will call nobodies.
Mhm.
Okay. Nobody gave the locals a spotlight
A voice,
of an
yeah.
article about, you know, oh, you've been singing in the Tampa area for 20 years. You know, she may be really popular in Tampa, Florida,
Right.
but nobody knows her in Jacksonville.
Mhm.
Nobody knows her in Atlanta or Illinois because she's a local
Yep.
person,
Most certainly.
right?
Yep.
Nobody gave those local people that spotlight, and
Well,
I did.
Yeah,
we did.
one of the things
So-
that I noticed, like when we started Uptown Music and Arts Festival, one of the things that we keyed in on was to give that stage to a lot of local artists who came from this area, who are as capable of world-class artistry as anyone, yet they could not break in.
They didn't get out.
And so it was a matter of, okay, well, we're going to put you on a main stage. We're going to give you the audience, bring it,
Yeah.
and they've done it every time. And again, the amount of talent that is in the Tampa Bay area
sure.
is
sure.
mind-blowing.
It is.
And it's crazy that they're not getting the exposure that they're deserving of. really.
We've had discussions about that, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
where it's like, you know, like there's a certain guitarist in Tampa who I just think is like probably one of the most amazing guitarists ever, and he just has not gone out of Tampa.
Right.
Like he might have gone out and done a project or two, but he's back
Yep.
in Tampa. You know, like it's not like he, by all means of artistry and talent,
Mhm.
he should either be in a studio somewhere
Right.
doing other people's stuff, or he should be on tour,
with
somewhere
yeah.
because he's so far above the regular
Yeah.
talent, right?
And it's not like artists always open that door because that's another competitor out there for
oh
whatever
yeah,
reason.
nobody shares that Rolodex.
And it's a hard thing to do, is to get other artists to open the door and welcome this person onto the stage and into the spotlight
Right.
with them. And I really think that that's just the wrong approach. I think when you open the door to that kind of talent and you're bringing it out, that draws positive attention to you as well. So I don't really understand where that disconnect is. But one, we're fortunate to be where we are when we are. But I also think that we're fortunate because we have platforms like this now
Right.
to discuss things that open those doors up and
Yeah.
maybe open the minds up of people to go, yeah, maybe we should think about this, or maybe we should think about that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
There aren't many areas where working musicians can play, like a drummer, and make a living
Right.
playing music live. You know,
Right.
There's not many areas, but here there are.
in
Yeah.
Tampa.
And so, yeah, it's hard to, you know, for this particular guitar player, maybe to, even though he's doing a lot of amazing stuff, relocate and go to a new area. Probably, you know, it takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, you got to step out
You got-
there.
yeah, you
gotta
gotta
step out
really-
there. Yeah.
really have that. You know,
Well, it's like people who follow the dream. Oh, they all in the '80s they all went to LA, right?
Mhm.
That was
Right,
that. It seems like, you know, Nashville became the hot spot
Yep.
for
Yep.
It
recordings,
still
right?
is,
So
yeah.
I mean, you know, a lot of people should go to Nashville.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, I don't know. There's something funky going on.
Right
Tampa
here.
is getting
We're getting
some
there.
spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doechii put it on the, you
Mhm.
know, when she got her acceptance speech for the award she got.
Right.
She said, "Hey, go to Tampa. There's a lot of talent there."
Absolutely.
So I don't think that was the whole reason, but I have heard that there have been people in the Tampa area that are working on some stuff.
Well, I mean,
so
look at the guy. Well, you
I know Tampa's going to have another
we're
little.
talking about Luis, and we're talking about Third. These guys are traveling all over the world.
They are.
Where are you guys from? Tampa, Florida,
Yep.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what's going on. Is that these musicians that you don't know until you know are out in the world. They're traveling the globe, but home is right here. And I think that's where people are going, well, the common thread is a lot of these people are coming out of Tampa Bay. What's
Yeah.
going on over
Yeah.
there? You know, I think it's incredible.
And a lot of them retire here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they come off the
they do.
road.
Sarasota,
Yeah.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the funny things, and when I was a lot younger, I always had friends of mine that worked in radio.
How
right?
long ago was that?
A lot younger. I mean, I'm only 25.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'll be
Ish.
25 next year.
Ish.
You got
And,
drawers that are older than 25.
But I had friends of mine that were in radio, and they would invite me to come to artist things, right? Whether they were taking Skid Row to Hooters for lunch before, a show or whatever, or like In Vogue came and played the Adventure Island Friday night thing for the Power Pig.
Right.
Remember back in the
Right.
day?
Power Pig, yeah.
And it was the one. They had one rule they would tell me all the time: you cannot be a fan. Don't
Right.
ask for an autograph.
Mhm.
Don't
Yep.
ask for a photo.
Yeah, don't
And I'd be
fan
like,
out
well, that's not fair. Everybody else is getting photos. And
Right.
they're like, but you're with us.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
so for a long time, I learned, even when I was younger, you can't fan out, right?
Mhm.
You could freak out, but don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't act like
let
it.
them
Don't
see you
act
sweat.
like
Yeah,
it, right?
right.
And there was one night where I gotta say, and I've met so many of my idols in music. I've met so many celebrities along my way, and I'll say this, a little side note on that. Like John doing all of the clinics, and every time he had somebody in town, it was, hey, let me connect you with Mayhem magazine. Anthony, get over here. We're at such and such tonight.
Right.
And it didn't matter what I was doing. I had to scratch
Stop,
that
but-
and go see John at the Porpoise Pub or whatever.
Talk.
But the crazy thing was, first of all, they're just normal people. When you show
Right.
up, I'm oh my God, that guy, like he's amazing, he's this, he's that, and the dude's just standing there,
Yeah.
like a normal person, right?
Right.
But I will say the one night that I almost fanboyed out, man. Like I really, John invited me, extended an invitation to you and Elliot invited me to the DOA party.
Oh, yeah.
And I go to the K-Pop, and I go in, and it was just me, and I was meeting John there, and I go in, and it's like the whole room. It was like the Grammy Awards, like everybody that was any band you can imagine, they were there.
Wow.
And
Wow. That's cool, man.
I just like it didn't matter which way I turned. I went to the bar to get a beer, and it was just like I'm standing there with Jesse from Jackal. Then I turn around, and there's this one and this one and this, and it was just
It's
You-
strange.
you
Yeah,
can't- you
it's
can't,
strange at first. It
like
really is.
it's just like sensory overload.
Mhm.
Like I can act like I'm not interested when there's one person there, but you have 400 of them here.
Right,
Like
right.
I need photos, man. I need autographs. Like that was a rough one for
Well,
me.
It's weird because I look at where I'm at now, and backstage is where I am. That's my life.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
backstage.
Even like
so-
Clearwater Jazz,
Yeah,
when we're back there.
We're back there. When I'm doing any of these other events that I travel to do, that's where you're at. But I remember being out there,
Yeah.
looking, going, I wonder what's going on back there.
Okay, so
But you're basically you're with your friends. You're with people that you know or that you do admire professionally. But it's a very
True.
casual, very
But think about
this is
this.
what we do.
it doesn't matter what you do, whether you make drums or play guitar.
Mhm.
We are all fans
Yeah,
of somebody.
because we wouldn't be
Yeah,
doing
of
it
somebody,
if we didn't.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, if we
have
weren't,
thousands
yeah.
of records. I have thousands of CDs and hundreds of cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Of somebody.
I remember when I actually met, when I was a kid, in my mind,
which was a long time ago. A really long time
he's
ago.
talking about another black guy that looks like me. Anyway, when I grew up, in my mind, there were three things that made me think about music. Nat King Cole and the velvetness of his voice, the Temptations, and the Pips from Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Pimps. They were the gladdest
They
night
were
in
the
the Pips.
Pips. And I was going, I'm saying, man, if I could do any of these, I'd want to either sing like Nat King Cole, I'd want to be one of the Temptations, or I'd want to be backing up Gladys Knight. I got to meet Otis Williams. And there he is, big as life, right there in front of me. And I'm in my professional mode at Clearwater Jazz. And
You
I
gotta
couldn't
act like
help
he's
it.
just another.
I just okay. It's just, if you could just touch me on the shoulder, I'll be cool with it. Okay, that would be it. But you always have that. You have that love. There are things that moved you, motivated you. We would not be in the businesses that we're in if we weren't moved by music. If we weren't moved by art. And that's why we're here. That's why we stay. And no matter how far you stray away from any part of it, you're never going to be rid of it because you always come back.
Is there anybody that you've met that was like,
yeah, who was your guy?
Even though you acted cool, you were freaking out meeting that person. That was
He's going through the list
pinnacle.
right now. It's going like this.
I think probably my biggest thrill, just because it was my inspiration, was his Kiss.
Okay, yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
big
believe
band,
me,
man. Big band.
I have seen, drove an hour and a half with Billy Cobham next to me. We're talking. It's the same but different. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
It was Kiss. And with Kiss, the reason why I play music, when Casey and I with Drum Static, we were able to do their drum heads.
Oh wow.
Yes, the light up.
Wow.
The light up
We
ones.
did the LED drum
Get
heads for
outta
Kiss.
here.
We're going to talk about Drum Static in the next episode.
And just driving to the show, and it was just like, wow, the reason that I got into music, and now I'm on the guest list.
Every one of us that play music, okay, back in the 70s, there is a photo of us somewhere with our face painted like Kiss. Yeah, I know you got one.
Oh yeah, I've had
I got them. My sister painted me up just so I could listen to the record.
and not just the 70s, a little more recent too.
Well, I can't claim that.
No.
I was born
you
painted,
were
so
the,
I didn't
you were the first black member of Kiss. So you think Kiss? That's your fan
That was, I think,
moment.
that was a big one to me. Even though, man, I've met some amazing drummers and honored by every one of their presence. Yeah. I'm like the last guy to go, let's get a picture. I don't think like that when I do it, and it's like, but that's probably a big one.
So I met Paul Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to hang out with him for a few minutes, and everybody else was talking to him, and I was so listening to the conversations and everything. He was so nice to everybody. Like, he really was like if you ever wanted to just run over and give somebody a hug, he was like really nice to everybody.
Michael
He
McDonald
thanked
was like that.
everybody for hanging out with him. Like, he was appreciative that we came to sit with him, right? And he was cool.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. I also spent the whole day at the Grand Prix, the St. Pete Grand Prix, the F1. I spent the whole day with Gene Simmons.
Oh wow.
I was a guest of Andretti Racing.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm in the back in the VIP. And through the years, a good friend of mine, Pete, who was an executive with BP Oil, he had given us, because he always sponsored the race oil and the gas and stuff. So I was a guest of Andretti Racing every year. And every year it was, if I wanted to go from here to there, just take the golf cart, right? So I went to go get in the golf cart, and they were like, oh, hey, you can't have the golf cart this year. You can't have it. And I was like, what do you mean I can't have the golf cart? I'm not walking all the way like 6 miles away to go to the bathroom or whatever. And they were like, no. Well, and the girl that was there, I forget her name at this point, but she's like, come on, Anthony, come with me, come on. And we go. Now she's going like to the front. She's going out to the parking lot. She's moving. I'm like, where are you going? She's like, oh, we just got to pick up somebody. We get there, Gene Simmons gets out of the car, gets in the thing. I spent the whole day with him riding around in a golf cart. He, he's taking photos with everybody. I mean, and where Paul Stanley was like so nice to everybody, Gene Simmons was so cool to everybody.
Right.
Like,
That's
when he stopped for 10 minutes to talk to 5 or 6 people before he had to go another 10 feet to do it again, he made everybody around him feel like they'd known him. Like, he was a lot of fun to hang out with for the whole day. He was really cool. And again, product of the 70s. I got every Kiss album there is, and just to be like, painted my face like you for like how many Halloweens, like.
I have to give credit to Kiss for their work ethic. When they do a show, they'll have a private meet and greet where they play a set without makeup in the back to certain people.
Yeah.
They allow people into their big sound check. They do that.
Yep.
Then they put their makeup on, and for like an hour or so before they go on, they're taking pictures, VIP pictures.
Yeah, that's all money, though. They're getting paid for everything.
I know it, but that makes for a 12,
it's a great
14-hour day.
But it's a great fan experience.
They don't have to do that. They don't need all that money. No. That's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah. I know it equals money.
You say they don't need all that money. Gene,
I know,
just breathes.
I know
decimal points. Like that's all. It's all to him about everything is business, money. He says, "Wait, what do you love? I love money."
Yeah, money and women. But money wasn't generated when he talked to 10 minutes to that group of 6,
Right.
and then it was 10 feet over. I mean, they are just so giving.
Yeah, they were.
That's great. No, I think that's
because of that, it does generate money.
I completely forgot. I did a drum clinic with Eric Singer in Long Island, and here was the funniest thing. Twice it happened to me. Twice, I couldn't believe it. So there was a drum store in Long Island where I was from, and they did a drum clinic, right? And they said, Cindy Blackman was going to be there, and I went, and it had rained like crazy.
Oh wow!
Nobody showed up. It was me. It was just me, and all the people that worked there. So I literally got like a 2-hour drum lesson from Cindy Blackman. I sat at the kit next to her. She sat next to me, and she's like, "Well, show me what you can do." And she's like, "Well, here, try this. Here, try this. Here, do this. This is what I do when I'm on tour with Lenny. This is what I do when I'm in." I'm like, I got a 2-hour drum lesson from Cindy Blackman, and she was so awesome. She was so beautiful, so cool.
Yeah.
Flash forward maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, and same thing. They said, "Hey, you coming by Tuesday?" And I'm like, "Tuesday? Why would you do a drum clinic at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday when everybody's working?" And they're like, "Look, man, it was the best we could do, but it's going to be Eric Singer." And I'm like, "From Kiss?" And I went. I think it was me and maybe like 3 other people for that one, and then all the employees.
Wow.
Same thing. Spent the whole day with the guy at the drum store because it wasn't even like he was there from like 12 to 1. No, he was there the whole day just hanging out with people, playing drums, talking. The one thing that was cool with him was he had like promo shots, like that 5x7, with him holding his pedal. So he was signing all those. It was cool. He was just again great guy,
that's
super
how
nice.
you build good fan bases, though, man. That's exactly how you do it.
Yeah. So I've met 3 of them. I'd love to meet Peter Criss. Good God, that would be awesome. Shane and them from the old Mr. Grumpy.
Oh yeah,
He had them all, each one of them sign his arm.
Oh wow!
And then he went and had it tattooed.
Tattooed, right?
So he has their
incredible.
signatures tattooed.
Well, I would tell you where I met Gene, but we'll have to do that off camera.
He wrote a
you
song
already
about
know where I'm going with
He
this.
wrote a song about it.
See?
Yeah, that's not a
Right here would be where my halo is. Right here.
Right.
So, all right. Well,
the
real Mrs. Jones is telling us we have to wrap this one up.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, all right. We'll close the lid on that
we'll see you
can.
for part 3. Spinelli Drums
coming up. Spinelli Drums.
All right.